name's Millie Marshall-Locker and I'm Deputy Editor of Security Journal UK. Today I'm here with Toby. How are you, Toby?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So, today you're at ISE. Could you tell me what you're trying to achieve today?
Yeah, of course. People know First Fence and they love First Fence for the fact that we have a wide range of fencing and temporary fence products in stock.
Yeah.
Where we are trying to break into new sectors is we are responding to industry demand for high security fencing. People have never expected First Fence to develop a high security range.
Yeah.
So with that comes a reliance on the LPS 1175. A lot of products get attack tested, some fail, some pass, but the main thing is we get the raw data and then we build products based on the data to sell to the customer to say, hey, we're not just entering a new sector and know nothing about it. We have the data behind us for a range of products that now work for security specifiers' point of view. So today we're here to showcase 8 new ranges that we are launching. To SR1, which is known as A1 under LPS 1175, and SR2, which is known as B3 under LPS 1175. Ultimately, we want to engage with the security specifiers and give them an option for someone like us who is committed to stocking the product on the ground rather than having long lead times.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
Good.
Hi, today we're here with Vinny, the Managing Director of First Fence. How are you, Vinny?
Yeah, no, very well, thank you.
Good. Well. So what does it mean for First Fence to enter a new market?
Exciting and really, really proud of the team. It's interesting because a few years ago we kept getting asked for security fencing. We used to be asked for various products that we didn't used to do. Obviously, we only started 16 years ago in fencing sort of sector, and it's just been really interesting, our journey, because we've gone from supplying standard products and commodity products into being asked for high security fencing, and that journey and the learning that we've sort of gone through has been phenomenal, and really nice now to be able to sort of look at sites, from just a few years ago where people have come with inquiries and all the challenges we've had to sort of go through to be able to get to this point. Just really nice and really proud of the team to be able to start offering our customers things that they require and need, as well as filling gaps where maybe some of our competitors, haven't been getting back to people fast enough or whatever them gaps might be. And really excited for the next part of the journey also, where we're looking to get into HVM and various other sectors of the market. So really, really good.
Yeah, brilliant, thank you. Hi, today I'm here with Will. He's the design engineer from First Fence. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So what challenges did you face when designing the B3 fencing system?
So when designing a B3 fencing system, the challenges I've faced is you're designing for a planned attack. This is no longer SR1 where it's anything that's in your pocket. It is more of a planned attack. So the fencing and gates have to be a lot to a higher standard. So we've done this by increasing the centres on our vertical bar system. They're now 10mm at 50mm centres. The grade of bolts have been increased. The overall metal thickness has been increased. But it's not just that. You've got to think of the material registry, the range drawings you've got to send off to the BRE to get approved. All these things come together to make a better quality product with all these different systems in place. So it's the coded welders for welding the systems. They all need to be up to scratch, having different bays for all these products to go into, so they are segregated from our standard products. As we're one of the only fencing companies that have stuff next day and stocked, we've really got to think about making sure it can be off the ground as quick as possible. And made as quick as possible to get to the customer.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, today I'm with Andy. He's the sales account manager at First Fence. How are you today?
Good, good, thank you. You?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. So what's important to you when discussing a high security project with a new prospect?
So for me, when discussing any new high security project with any customer, the most important thing really is to listen. Listen to what they've got to say, listen to what their site security concerns are, and then once I've fully listened, I can then look to put forward a solution for them. Every site is different, so if I don't understand what they want, I'm never going to put forward the right solution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hi guys, today I'm here with Liam, he's the contracts manager from First Fence. How are you today?
I'm alright, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So what makes First Fence different in how it manages high security installations?
So we have our own in-house fitters, so we can maintain and manage how the installations are going on site. We can make sure that it's to a high standard. Myself and other team members will also go out to site to ensure that it's the highest possible installation that we can offer.
Yeah.
We do all civils and groundworks, which are to a very high standard also.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
No worries.
So today is a very monumental show for us. We are launching 8 new ranges, and when I say 8 new ranges, we have 4 new ranges of fences and 4 new ranges of gates. This is a Acoustigard, which is a timber range. We have Enviro Protect, which is a railing range, Enviro Protect Anti-Climb, and our piece of the resistance, our SR2, which is our first ever SR2 B3 product. This is ProFence 2X. Paul's been on hand. He's been very, very helpful in the attack test stages in making sure that we are completely compliant and above board with all of the data that we've been getting. And these are our certs for the range, and we're very grateful to be working with Paul and the team. Paul, so you're finding more fence companies like ourselves who have specialised for a long time in permanent and temporary fencing, starting to adapt and evolve their products for LPS 1175. Why is it important from a standards perspective that companies like First Fence get more involved in security and high security fencing, and what does that do for the industry?
Well, the end user, the specifier, is looking for a approved product. They want trust in what they can, what's been put into place, whether it's a fence or a door, in your case, or your fencing range. And obviously, you're feeding into that market with a range of products.
Good. So we have 12 certificates now across the range. We have SR1, which is A1, and SR2, which is B3. Is it reassuring to see companies like us continuously adapt and reinvest, or is there a limit where you think, you know what, we have enough high security products, let's sort of cap it there and focus on another sector?
Well, I'm sure you can never have not enough products, shall we say, but the fact is you're going for 1175, you're getting LPCB recognition from and having Red Book listing. That's what the specifiers are looking for. They want confidence in the products that they're actually going to use. So that's what the LPCB mark stands for, and hence you're broadening your range for a wider range of products.
Indeed. And then finally, from our perspective, having been involved in quite a few tests now, it's very easy to take a specimen A and specimen B, and they both look and feel exactly the same. But actually the data of the raw cuts between specimen A and B can vary massively. Why is it that you guys are, and some say it, why are you guys very, very critical on your data, and what does that give the customer, and how does that reassure them that that's a standard to adopt for that site?
Because all that data sits behind that approval, as we've been demonstrating in our live test lab this couple of days at the show, where you have products and we're demonstrating what we do. Data is the key. We have to prove that we can't gain access through that product, and that's by testing, getting lots of data for all the components. We treat it as a whole system. That data then feeds into the technical assessment that says we cannot get through that product with those tools and that time, and that's what sits behind the certificate. So the end user, the specifier, what they see on Red Book is the certificate. What sits behind that certificate is that test data, is the engineering assessment of the product range, sizes, gradients, types, materials. That's what feeds into that certificate.
Oh, good. Final question, and then I know you've got some certificates to hand to us.
We certainly have.
Why is it important that fence companies build a culture that fully understands LPS 1175 within, rather than just saying, hey world, we've got a cert, here's a fence, and then forgetting that we know anything else? Because let's just put it like this. At First Fence, we try and develop every department to understand if they touch the product range that's certified, they need to know ins and outs of the standard, because there are repercussions if corners are cut. Is that important? Why is it important? And should companies like us be adopting more of a culture to drive this forward?
It's all about quality. You see a certificate, yes, you do the testing, but the end user doesn't necessarily see what also sits behind the certificate. So it's audits of your factory, making sure that all the processes follow ISO 9001 to make sure every element, whether it's purchasing, whether it's faults, or whether it's complaints, and I know you don't get too many of those, if any. But it's about every process to get that fence out of the factory, the manufacturing plant. If people don't understand what sits behind that certificate, then something can go wrong. And if you get one element wrong, that product goes out not as designed, not as approved. Changing the bolt, or someone's put the wrong size bolt. would have a detrimental effect on the security afforded by that product.
So to some degree, your audits are an extension of the ISOs.
Yeah. So we take ISO 9001 as the absolute bare minimum, whether it's through us or another approved or recognised body. But we come in and do factory production control. So we will dig deep in, what size bolts you're using, where you're getting your mesh from, where are you using, is it the right mesh? The size of the clamp bars. Your whole design is looked at as part of that audit process, and then that feeds back through, obviously buying the right clamp bars, using the right material. Are you supplying that product with the set of instructions? So it all sits around that quality element. So important to obviously having that certificate.
Exactly, and it's a culture at First Fence that we have tried to build from the ground up. As I mentioned, every touch point of the business is now onboarded and up to date with how to handle LPS 1175 products.
So Toby, it's been really great to speak to you and your colleagues today. So how are you finding it today?
Do you know what? It's been really, really productive so far. We're only halfway into day one, but people are really resonating with the fact that we are committed to stocking the product on the ground.
Yeah.
I think that gives people the reassurance that should there be a reactive inquiry that needs a certain security fence quickly, we are an emergency service for that.
Yeah.
The next step is to start getting people wanting to use the trademark and start getting people hooked on the quality that is behind First Fence.
Yeah.
But so far, in answer to your question, really, really positive, and I think we're going to have a great rest of the show.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.